Hi class, we are super duper excited about the new course that we have put together for you for our college algebra with support Math 12. We're using ALEKS, which is a personalized way to learn at your own pace. ALEKS figures out the topics you already know, and then it helps you to take the right path to success. So let's get started. First, it's going to go show you that there's the main menu, that's the hamburger icon. And then it has a little notification bell. Part of it's off the screen, but you can barely see it in the right-hand corner. And then we'll go ahead next to our tutorial. And this helps us put in our answers on ALEKS. For example, it says using the keyboard type 14. So once you do all the things that they show you in the tutorial, you'll know how to enter in your answers. Next, we'll hit continue, and we're going to go ahead and start our knowledge check. Oh, that's interesting. They show you the main menu again, I guess just in case you take a break. And then we'll go ahead and start our knowledge check. And it says, before you start your initial knowledge check, stay focused and don't get distracted. Have a pencil and paper available, but you don't want to get help from others. I've had students think, oh, this is a test. I've got to do the best that I can. And so they went out and used outside resources to get help, like Khan Academy, Google the answers, but you don't want to do that, because then what happens is you assess yourself out of the content you really don't know and need to learn how to know. So this is not a test. This is to figure out, hey, what do you know? Take your time and try to do your best. And it's okay to say, I don't know. So you can use the ALEKS calculator if it's provided, and you can use the tools help if you need help entering your answer if you've forgotten. And then you can choose I don't know, but only do that if you really don't know how to do the problem. It's okay to give it your best educated guess, but sometimes you just don't know, and that's totally okay. So let's go ahead and start our knowledge check. And then it's going to go through and start asking you some questions. So I'm going to go ahead as the faculty member and skip the knowledge check. You don't have that opportunity to do that. And I'm going to select little knowledge of college algebra because that's where most students land. And it says, nice job, Donna. Here are your results. You've mastered 7 out of the 315 topics out of your pie. Then it shows you how you can take a look at each slice of the pie. And for examples in exponents, polynomials, and factoring, there are 41 topics, and I understood how to do one. So we'll go ahead and select got it and then continue. And then we have here your personalized pie is your ALEKS pie tab. And so there's a little tab here. Let me move it over so you can see better. There we go. So we'll select that ALEKS pie tab and it'll take us back to where we just were. Next, we want to go to our timeline, and that's another way of looking at your progress. And then again, they have the main menu icon and the notifications. So every week in our class, you will have a new module due in ALEKS. And a module is just a collection of topics that you'll need to learn by the due date. So you can see here that week 1, which is on linear equations, and if I hover my mouse over here, I think it'll tell you linear equations and inequalities. It's saying that I assessed out of 2 out of the 26 topics, and they're due Sunday, January 28th. So we're going to first begin with Start My Path. What ALEKS will do next is load a topic that it thinks you're ready to learn. You will first land on a Learn page, and that's what we have here. It says here, this is your learning page, and you can review the material before you start learning. Since I created this video before the first day of class, it's showing that I have 7 days left where the modules are unlocked. But it turns out that feature is available as well for you throughout the semester, because from Sunday to Tuesday, you have that ability to be able to go back and look at other topics, which I'll show you in a minute. So we land on our Learn page, and it tells you how to solve for the problem. And this is why we're super excited about the course. On the right, you'll see that we have this thing called Resources. And under Resources are videos that we've made to help you be successful in the course, basically showing you how to do this particular problem. In this case, we don't have the calculator available, and you need to reach out to your instructor to see if that's okay to use a scientific calculator, even though this is not available. And then we also have videos that are made by the author of the book. So sometimes those videos are great because they line up exactly with this particular problem that's on ALEKS, but sometimes they don't. So I recommend that if you see the resource icon, use those videos. You're going to fall in love with them. Next, we have the ebook. And then we also have the dictionary. So if you don't know what certain terms are, for example, what's like terms, it's linked. So if you click that link, it'll open up the dictionary and explain to you what do they mean by like terms. And then next we have the little envelope icon, which is the message center. And what that does is it sends us a copy of this identical problem along with an opportunity for you to say, oh my goodness, I'm not sure how they got this one step. And then last but not least, you can also print out the explanations. So by using this icon, it makes sure that it doesn't cut off the material on the page. So let's go ahead and get started. So you'll notice here at the top, ALEKS gives you this progress bar, so you'll know how many correct answers you need in a row. So you can see here that there's 5 bars. I'll solve for W in this equation just so you can see how the tracking bar works. I'll check my answer. Woohoo, I got it correct, and you'll notice now it says +1 in my tracking bar. For the next equation, they ask us to solve for U, and so I'll go ahead and do that, and then you're going to get super excited about this. Woohoo, we got it correct again, and guess what happens? When you get the second one right in a row, it gives you double credit, so it gives you 2 bars. And now let's do our third one. Woohoo, and we got it correct. So whenever you get 3 right in a row, because you got double credit again, that gives you 5 out of 5. But never despair. You always have this resource icon, and when you select that, that opens up to a video or PDF, and here's an explanation of step-by-step going through that very same problem. One last feature. When you select this little down arrow, that allows you to select the topics that you want, or even change the weekly module. So for example, we're on week 1, but because it's unlocked, I could go to week 3. And work on anything except for the one where it has this little notation where it says locked. So for example, if I wanted to work on simplifying the square root of a whole number less than 100, I can when we're in that unlocked phase. Also too, when you're, and let's go back to week 1, and let's say there's a particular topic that's on a homework problem and you want to work on, you can use the filter icon. So you can see this little filter icon on the right. It says filter, and then you can type in the name of the topic. So for example, let's say that it's the one where it has several occurrences. So I'm just going to put occur just because I can't remember if it's 2 R's. I don't think it is. I think it's 1 R. Yeah. And when I do that and I hit return, it'll pull up the 4 topics that have that word in there. And so I can go ahead here and select either this one, which is solving a linear equation with several occurrences of the variable. When I select start, then I can see more of the title, and also too I can click on it, it'll blow it up and I can see even more. And again, takes you to that learn page. So you can navigate to whichever topic you like. You can also navigate to different weeks when you're in that unlock phase, from usually Sunday night till Tuesday night. And you can also swap around if you're feeling like you're getting a little stuck. And then of course you don't want to miss the thing we're most excited about, that we've added resources to the more difficult topics in the course. Again, you can always reach out to us and let us know, Professor, can you have a video for that one? It would be so helpful. Once again, welcome to our class. We're so excited to have you, and you're going to have a phenomenal semester taking advantage of the ALEKS platform and the resources that we have available for you.